Morning, welcome to a Lewis Art video. We're out at Rosemore again. Now we've picked out a beautiful spot and it started raining, so we're probably going to have to find a bit of shelter for a second. I'll very quickly show you what Mike's up to, and then we'll talk a bit more. It's raining, Mike.
Sorry?
It's raining. So here be the view that we've picked out. Now, as it's raining, you can't really get. A minute ago, the water was crystal clear, and not crystal clear. The water was really calm. That's the one. The water was really calm, and so the reflection of the trees above it was amazing. It's gone a little bit more sort of motley now, whilst it's raining. But the rain seems to be passing us by. I think it's going to be a bit like this all day, showers and things. There's a bit of blue just in over there that we're hoping is coming our way. So we'll be able to get that going. Mike has got the right idea. He's got the coffee on already. And I think we'll just keep, we'll persevere here for a minute. Hope that the weather passes. If it doesn't, we might need to make another plan. But there's plenty of blue sky coming, so it's much nicer there. We'll just wait a minute. I'm sure this will pass. Well, our plan has been foiled by the fact that the rain is actually getting heavier. But you know, we're still here for a minute, and we'll just give it a second or two. Come on, rain, come on. It's like really trying up there to be nice for us, but at the moment it's not. And the rain actually, oh, it's getting heavier. Yeah, easel's covered up with my jacket, which means I'm not. Yeah, brilliant. The wet weather certainly doesn't stop the Rosemore staff and volunteers from doing their bit. Busily working away over there. Well kitted out in their waterproofs. Very impressive. So Mike and I are just having a look and talking about our ideas for composition in this one. We're thinking quite similar actually, obviously because we are looking at the same view, but primarily I think the idea is to keep these three trees at the front here in. As you can see now, the water is reflecting really nicely. Still as a mill pond. Goodness gracious, this is a bad day. It still is a mill pond, Mike told me is a good expression to use, and I think he's right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a photo, then I'm going to sketch, and then hopefully it will have dried out a bit and I can sort of get the easel, get the canvas out and paint straight onto it. So let's take a photo. Love this board. It was a gift from Mike in a few videos back. The link will be somewhere on the screen, probably about now. This one, I've kind of looked at the shapes a little more. There's the three lines of the trees there. Then you've got just a little strip of plant behind the gunnera here. The lilies in front. And then it kind of goes into these sort of rounded shapes for the bushes in the midground there, and then slight bushes behind them, and then the bigger trees in behind them. And the colour sort of goes from sort of darker coming out brighter. So that's something to think about as well there. So I'm gonna get my easel set up, and I'm gonna pretty much try and set this out. So it's gonna be portrait, similar sort of thing. And we'll see how it goes. So what I'm able to do here is with my sketch, I've been able to clip it on the bottom here, so I've got that in front of me, and then I've got my canvas above, so I can work off of that as well. So that's quite a nice little addition for today. With this rain, it's quite unbelievable. It's blue sky, but yet still, and this tree I think is the culprit. It's raining on us still here. To change of plan for Mike today, he's going to sit and paint. This will be an interesting experiment for him, I'm sure, to see how he gets on with that. Yeah, just saying now, I didn't look at Mike's sketch, but he didn't like it that much anyway, and it's gone. So we're both now just jumping straight into the canvas. And how's it sitting down, Mike?
Yeah, it's fine.
Ah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'll have achy legs later and you'll be like, yeah, let's go for a walk. Yeah, so we're both going to jump straight into the canvas.
For the rain, I'll be quite contented.
I couldn't agree more, yeah. It's really frustrating. It just, again, blue sky, but it has gone so grey all of a sudden. really difficult to work out what's going on with the weather today. My plan was to use my sketch there, set up below the canvas. I just went to start painting and I realised bloody thing's upside down. Brilliant. Genius. So we're ready to go. It's time to paint. So the sketch is in. Now I'm just putting in the darks, starting very dark in that sort of side across there and then working across, so it's going to go sort of darker and then across this midge. If I squint, it's all in here, the darkness, under there and then across here as it sort of hits into shade. The sunlight is effectively hitting this area here, so that's what I've got to try and achieve. Mike can't escape today because he sat right there beside me, so but Mike doing a very similar thing, working in the darks first. And did you use burnt sienna to sketch out today, Mike?
I did.
Yeah, so we're pretty much on the same path at the moment.
Okay.
Yep. Although to be fair, I think yours looks a bit drier than mine, the way you're sketching on. Yeah. Mine's going to be a little bit wetter, I think. So no, going straight from the oils. Yeah. Okay. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see a difference. So I'm patching in the darks. One of the things that's really noticeable is how quickly the light is shifting now. There's a lot more shade appearing on the lower half of the painting that was of the picture that wasn't there earlier. So I guess it's that sort of point where you have to kind of make a decision how you play it, because if you keep following the light, your painting never actually stays. You're always shifting it. I always find that sort of undoes me a bit if I go too far with it. So I'm going to commit to having the light in the places that it is currently, and then even when that shifts, I'll try as much as possible to keep it fairly accurate to where I'm sat now. So the trees over the top here have got more light. It's coming in that patch there, so I'm going to try and keep that pretty clean, and then likewise down across this line across here with the gunnera and the plants down the bottom is quite clean, and then just the lines I've got to sort of scratch back out of the trees there. Yeah, the lines of the trees down through here. So it's, yeah, so that's sort of the darker patches in, and now I'm going to sort of think about a slightly lighter mid-tone green going in and amongst the trees. And there's Mike's going for, again, just purely paint straight onto his canvas or his board, and again he's using the sort of dabbing brushstroke method. It's looking good. It's interesting, Mike. So you think that the changing in the sort of directions of the brush strokes and things just helps to bring out the colour, or do you think that's how it works? Or
I think it gives the surface a sense of vibration.
yeah,
The light hits the brush lines in different directions, and that has an effect on the way that the light or the colours viewed.
yeah, interesting. I keep trying to do something similar, and it ends up being, I end up meshing it all together and mixing it all up and turning it into big muddy piles again rather than clean brush strokes. It's really hard to keep your brush strokes clean.
Yeah, but I think the big problem is getting over trying to get detail.
Yeah.
You know, even now I'd started drawing trunks and so on, and I noticed that the gunnera, there's a lot of stalks there that look quite interesting, and even the shapes of the gunnera leaves. There's quite a curvature on the leaves, which is really interesting to look at. But I don't want that. I'd like to be able to show that, but I just want a sense of what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and get that in terms of shapes of colours rather than lots of detail.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely, and it's true, because there is some amazing details in there. But again, if you start going in too far into that, it actually gets lost. I mean, then you're looking, really what you're trying to do if you're going into that much detail is that almost that photographic version of painting, isn't it? Which yeah, why not just take a photo, I always say. But I guess, you know, I probably say that because I can't do a photographic painting. So it is actually really interesting, because Mike and I have gone, although we kind of started off perhaps in a similar spot, we've gone in very different directions. This is mine. I've smudged the darks into the back there, tried to get that bit sort of done, and still going with that. And Mike has gone very much with his clean brush strokes, building up his colours along the way like so. So very different styles coming out. And that's the great thing about it, isn't it? You know, it's about finding your own style, your own technique, and what you enjoy doing. I've got to be blatantly honest, I'm not sure I enjoy doing what I'm doing currently, but you know, I'm still looking for mine. But I think this is the right sort of direction, sort of getting those sort of darks sort of washed in lightly behind and then building over the top of it. I'm convinced that's going to be the right way to go, even if I haven't quite got the technique right just yet. But never mind, persevere, persevere. So after doing all of the back colours, what I decided to do was black line it pretty much everywhere and then build into those shapes. Sometimes I go the other way around and I do the shape and then I black line the edge, and I think, well, that's probably the wrong way around. What I really want to do is work into those shapes with the colours that I need and go up to the lines and things. Even on the trunks here, the trunks aren't black at all, they're white, but once I go down the middle of it, then the black behind will edge it off, and it is quite dark on either side of that, so I can sort of build off of that. That's my plan. Yeah. It's lunchtime. So it's sort of become rush hour here a bit, hasn't it, Mike? Lots of people about. The sun's out now, so it's a nice time to walk about. Just had a few people come around and talk to us there. And again, it's that pressure point. You know, you're busy, happily sort of painting away. Then they come over, and it was interesting because they were asking some interesting questions there, which I think I managed to fake that I knew the answers to quite well, didn't I, Mike?
You did.
Yeah, thanks. No, and it gets you, in a way that's quite good, because it does get you talking through your process again to someone else. You know, I know we do it together and that, and sort of explaining what you're up to and you're thinking. And sometimes it's really funny, because sometimes they sort of go, and then and you sort of think, oh, they don't really buy into what I've just said at all. And then other times they genuinely seem interested. But it does leave you it leaves me definitely feeling a little bit sort of, I don't know, not panicky, that's the wrong word. It's that conscious thing, isn't it? How do you feel about it, Mike? When people come around and look at your work and chat and stuff, are you okay with it, or do you find it a bit...
Well,
he says, leering over the top of you with his camera.
Be a bit subconscious about it. Although, well, we both went through all that at uni with
we did.
Continuous.
Yeah, sort of stop checking and reviewing and looking at your work and justify this and explain this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know, it's inevitable, isn't it? If we come out anywhere where there's people, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's good in some respects that people take the effort to come and have a chat.
I feel like I should have some YouTube cards. Here's my card. Yeah. And then we walk up the path and we find loads of them in the bin at the end of the day. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Fly in there.
Yeah, it's going to go on there, mate.
Are you local or?
No, not at all. We're from Birmingham.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Birmingham, Worcestershire.
Oh, lovely.
And we're just on holiday.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, fantastic.
Who we're with, they're from, well, we were from Farnham with them.
Right.
And so we go to Wisley.
Yes.
Wisley.
Yeah.
So of course we wanted to come and.
So what do you think of the?
And this is gorgeous.
It's lovely.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen so far. I mean, they just do the most magnificent gardens, don't
They
they?
do,
Colours,
yeah.
and that's my husband. He's not just any
Yes,
random.
well, he is.
Well, he
to
is.
us.
But
Some sort of random bloke who's watching what you do.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
just
Yeah.
wanted to see
That's all right. That's
anything
fine.
I could pick up. What am I always saying about how I can't get the colours?
Oh, well, it is the hardest part, I think.
But you use pencils. You
Oh,
say.
pencil. Yeah, and I'm not like I'm literally an in the lines girl, you know.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay, all right.
But I do love it, and I find
Yeah.
it very, very
Yeah,
therapeutic. And I'm
Absolutely.
always trying to pick up the next thing that I can add to the shade or the
Yeah.
depth or the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
use the colours.
I use a book that's got
But when
a
you- when
picture,
you're
and I
applying
colour
the
the
colours-
picture in.
With all the paintings that I do, I tend not to do any human interaction in them at all.
No.
And sometimes I wonder whether I should. Sometimes I wonder whether it should have a person or a boat or something like that. My goodness, over there, the trees, can you see the purple coming out of that?
Out of where?
The middle branch of that tree, is it just me or is that going purple?
No, it is. Yeah.
Have they put the lights on or something? 'Cause
No,
that's
no.
incredible.
Yeah. No.
So we're kind of getting to the point where we think that'll do for now. This is definitely a take it back to the studio and finish, although it's been a really nice afternoon. It's been nice and peaceful. We have had quite a few people come and stop and chat, but that's been fairly painless, to be fair. It's been nice that we've had some interest in our artwork, some interesting questions about how we do things, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that helps us to think about our process as well, I guess. So it's been good in that sense, but now it's kind of got to the point where it's like, well, probably time to stop. It's gone a little bit grey again as well, so maybe now is as good a time as any. I'd certainly need to let mine dry out a bit and then add a bit more light to it, but I am pleased with where it's going, this one, so that's a positive. So let's go and speak to Mike. So Mike, first of all, how was it painting on your knees all day?
Well, it seemed comfortable until he stands, and then you realise that you shouldn't be doing it. But yeah, I've managed okay, having the canvas on my lap and the palette within striking distance.
Yep.
So it's worked out okay. I would have preferred to have had the easel, but
Yeah. And so you're painting, how do you feel?
yeah, I think it's getting there. It's not what I'd planned to do. I was hoping for something better, but I'm quite pleased with how it's going so far.
Mm.
The technique I've used to do the trees, it's something I haven't done before, and I'm glad that I've tried that out.
This sort of scratching in here.
Yeah, just taking the paint off. It's given me
It's very nice.
a good likeness of the tree itself.
I don't know if I can get a bit closer, actually. I should be able to. Yeah. Oh, God blimey, smash bang. With the easel. So there, yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
And I find that with oil paint, unless you have lots of thinners, I find it difficult to get a really thin line
Yes.
for a branch or twig or something. So this system seems much better to me.
Well, it's certainly pulled it out. It's worked really well, especially in and around where you've got the darker patches in behind.
Yeah.
And it's come through there.
Yeah.
It really does
Yeah.
stand out. And obviously that underneath, it's brought out some of the warmer paint from underneath then, I guess, as well.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. And so the brushstroke method that you used last time, you've brought it back again. Have you changed it? Is it altering? Are you kind of doing something different as you go along with it, or is it, how are you, is it evolving already, or do you feel like you just need to keep working at that technique?
Yeah, no, I think I need to keep working at it. I wouldn't say that it was evolving from what I did last week, but it's been slightly different to last week, because last week I was working pretty much to a photograph, and this time I've been trying to get the colours that I see in front of me.
Yeah.
Not always successful, but I think it's getting there.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the way that the darker areas of the blue brush strokes on that side work really makes the darker lights work well. You can really see where the light's hitting certain areas, and
Yeah.
it's a fascinating style.
Yeah,
It is nice. So much to look at.
quite enjoy doing it.
You know, you can go to any part of that painting and pick out some really interesting brush marks and things. And that red in the middle is like straight whack
Yeah.
it, packing a punch.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Happy with that.
Good. Started brushing, giving that bit of a swish across there.
Yeah.
The lily pads needs to be worked out a bit better, and actually so does the can't think of what it's called. Gunnera, thank you. And so does the Gunnera. But then, you know, there's not a massive amount else really to look at there, I don't think, to be honest. I could pretty much sort of stop and go, oh yeah, that's all right. I think with this one I could pretty much just put it away, you know, put it aside and come back to it, you know, tomorrow or the day after, and look at it and think, oh, you know, maybe just little bits. And like I said, anyway, because of the nature of this backing, the paint needs to dry, because otherwise it sort of scratches it off. So I need to let it dry. But again, that's worked in my favour as well. Because it does sort of bring out different marks.
It does.
So yeah, there we are. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. Yep, back to the studio. So back in the studio, Yurtes. This is what I finished up with. You know, it was an enjoyable painting session. Some nice bits and pieces come out of it. Ignore that bit of blue there. It should be there. You know, I used that canvas, leftover spray canvas, for the blue at the back, so it's given me that punchy blue that I was after. I've able to bring that through quite easily by scraping out the bits and pieces of paint around the sides there. It's amazing how easily it comes off. And then I've started to think about adding in the warmer colours in the mid-tone section there, and then I've got to think about that light area. The light was pushing through here and across here. So those are the two areas that I've got to brighten up. The water, I've dragged a brush across just gently. The lily pads here have got to be sorted out and tidied up because they don't quite sit right there at the moment. And then, yeah, that's sort of it to go with, to begin with. And then I'll see where else I can add it into it to improve it. But I think, yeah, it's come out okay. There's more to add to it, more to do, and I'm gonna do that this time in another video slot that I'm gonna start to do, which is looking at some of the older paintings and just going back over them and improving them and seeing what I can do to improve them from here. So that's going to be something I'm going to add into. That's going to hopefully run alongside the plein air paintings as a slightly shorter video, but just another video to drop in each week. That's the plan, and the reason for that is to get me painting a little bit more in the studio as well, because I'm painting when I go out plein air, but then I'm not doing a massive amount at home, and I think now I need to. If I want to get better, I've got to keep really pushing it from here on in. So that's the plan there. So this will be the first one that I actually do for that video series. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here for now, and then when I do come back to it, it's going to be to improve it for the new series. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that today. Rosemore's a beautiful place. We'll definitely be heading back there again. And don't forget to look out for my new studio video. I haven't got a name for it, so if you can come up with a good sort of catchy studio title, like, I don't know, Studio Superiors, Studio Improvios, Studio Improvements, I don't know. Can't think of anything. I'll have to come up with something. So if you've got any good names for that, good ideas for that, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos coming out. And as always, thanks for your support, your comments, buy me a coffee, every way possible. I really appreciate it. So thanks a lot. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this or any of my other videos, there are a number of ways you can support me in the future. Like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And now you can even donate on my Buy Me a Coffee page. As you can see from my new videos, I love coffee. But your donation will do more than just keep me full of caffeine. Every donation will go straight into buying new art materials for future projects, so your help will be truly appreciated. It's easy to use. Simply follow the link and you can donate as little as £2 to help out. Feel free to leave a comment, and there's even a link to my website. Your support really does go a long way to helping me to create more art in the future. Thanks.